What's up, guys? My name is Sam, and this is my brand new YouTube channel. On this channel, I want to talk about my favorite TV shows, I guess you could say. I'm a huge fan of the Arrowverse shows. Well, I used to be a big fan of the Arrowverse shows. I started watching the shows about a year ago, and I binge watched pretty much all of them up until um, beginning of Supergirl season 3, Legends season 3, Flash was going into season 4, and Arrow was going into season 5. I heard about the shows from a colleague of mine at work, and he's like, "Oh, you have to watch these shows." And I had actually started watching Legends because I didn't know where to start, what to watch first. So he told me, he's like, "You've got to watch the Arrowverse shows," and he told me what they all were, and I was like, "Okay, cool." They sound interesting. So I started watching, and I started watching Legends, and I was really confused. And the first episode that I saw was, well, in the first couple of episodes, I guess I saw, I don't remember what episode it was. I saw the one where they go into the future and they meet Oliver in the future and John's son. And it was like I should have known who these characters were, but I have no idea because I haven't watched any of the other shows. So I was really confused. So I went back and I was talking to my coworker about it, and he's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "You got to watch them in a certain order to be able to understand them." He's like, "You got to start with Arrow because that was the first show." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I started watching Arrow, and then I started binging Arrow because it was like not just watching Arrow, it was like binging it because I really, really, really liked the show. And let me tell you, after watching all the shows and Arrow all seasons, I'm all caught up, waiting for Arrow to start in 7 days. Um, After watching all the shows, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. So I'm like the type of person that likes to know what's going on. So I like spoilers because they're not always true. So it's kind of like, well, this is where we thought they were going with stuff, but this isn't where it ended up. So if you don't like spoilers or rumored spoilers, don't watch this channel. Don't watch this video because I talk about them. The other thing I noticed about Arrow in particular, because it is my favorite show of all the Arrowverse shows, Arrow is my favorite, but I do like the other shows. There's good moments and bad moments in each, so I'll talk about those. But Arrow is my number one favorite. But one thing I noticed online is, because like I said, I like spoilers, so I kind of got into watching YouTube videos and, you know, all the rumors and all the news and everything like that. And I watch Ben and PG and all the different ones that I can find on YouTube, as well as I'm also on Twitter and Instagram and all these things. And it's like each platform has their own group of fans, which I didn't realize that Arrow has such split fans. Because either you're a fan of Felicity or you downright hate Felicity. There's like not much in between. There's not many people that are in between. And if you encounter a Felicity hater and you say you're a fan of Felicity, right away they think you're an Olicityer, which I am a fan of Olicity, I guess you could say, but I'm not one of these fans like on Twitter. Like I started following a bunch of people on Twitter because I was like, oh, cool, they talk about Arrow. And they talk about Oliver and Felicity, and it's so controversial because so many people don't like her. So many people think that Oliver and Laurel should have been together. And I don't know if I'm like the lost fan because I'm one of these people that literally, I like Felicity. I like Oliver and Felicity together. But I'm not an obsessed, like, crazy stalker completely in love with them. I like the dynamics of the relationship. I like the fact that they were together, they broke up, because it's real. I've been through that myself. I was in a relationship, hit a very hard wall in the relationship, and broke up with my boyfriend at the time. A year later, back together. Now I've been back together for 9 years because there was a conflict that we could not resolve, and we took some space and some time apart, and then we realized, like, hey, we love each other, we belong together. It's just a matter of each one of us dealing with our issues and dealing with circumstances and growing and developing as people. And then you get back together and you're like, hey, now we've had these obstacles. So instead of bailing the next time there's an obstacle, we're going to stick it out and we're going to work together through it. And sometimes you guys don't always see eye to eye. Sometimes you're not going to agree with your partner. Sometimes your partner is going to do things that they think they're doing in your best interest, and they probably are, but at the same time, you feel betrayed or whatever because of the fact that they did it without consulting you. So we're going to get into a lot of talking about like the dynamic of Oliver and Felicity later on in other videos. But right now, I am an Oliver and Felicity fan, but I am not an obsessive, oh my god, Stephen and Emily, to the point where you get mad at the actors because they don't want an Oliver Felicity baby. Well, big deal. They are in no place to have a baby right now. Okay? Maybe in the distant future, it can be more of a drama plot twist, whatever. But right now, no. They need to deal with what's happening right now. And so they can't be dealing with, oh, happily ever after Oliver's going to get out of jail and they're going to go back to fighting crime and Felicity's going to be in the bunker and she's going to get pregnant and they're going to have a perfect, cheery little life. That's just not realistic, okay? I am a fan of the action. Sometimes it's a little bit too much for me, but obviously it's like a superhero show. I'm also not well versed in the comics. I only know what I learned from watching videos, including Ben and Paigey. They're the ones that kind of educate me, Paigey more so than anyone, because I have no idea who these people are, these characters. Sometimes I'm like lost and confused. So I just kind of follow that and then just kind of get a background and an idea of what is going on and who these people are and things like that. So I just, I wanted to create this channel to talk about the shows. I will talk about the other shows as well, but mainly right now I want to talk about Arrow and just kind of give you a different outsider weird opinion of it and maybe some different ideas of what's going to happen, because I'm actually pretty good at calling things. Like I don't know, there's different shows that I've watched in the past that I was just able to like be like, yeah, this is going to happen. And sure enough, nobody else came up with that at all. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm kind of going to try that with Arrow and see how it is. I could be way wrong and I don't care. Because like if I have an opinion and I say, hey, what if this is this? And somebody doesn't agree with me, that's fine. Tell me what's right because I'm curious. You know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, I have no background in comics. I just started watching the shows. I like the show. I like to show how it is. There's characters I like, there's characters I don't like, there's characters I miss, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. My next video that I'm going to do, I have a very interesting theory going into season 7, so I'm going to record that next, and hopefully if you like what you hear, like and subscribe, and join me. We can write some comments. If you don't agree with me, let me know. Tell me what's wrong with my theories. Tell me what's wrong with my ideas. And we'll be able to kind of get through the season and kind of have a little bit of fun without being a complete, I hate Felicity or I absolutely adore Felicity. I don't know. Is there other people out there like me that like Felicity, but also think that it's okay for their relationship to go through things. It's okay for them to break up. It's not the end of the world, and it's just something to look forward to is when they get back together. Or right now, like obviously I'm hoping that there's going to be a fight or a conflict between them because he went to jail, and you know, I can understand his reasons for doing so, like for going and not telling Felicity, but I can understand how she would feel, and I can understand how Oliver feels. So like, obviously, I think she's gonna be. I hope she's not gonna be the what the Olicities are hoping for is the second he gets out of jail, all is well, Oliver and Felicity. I'm hoping she's gonna have a little bit of anger. She's still gonna love Oliver, but she's gonna be mad at him, and there's going to be conflict, and they may not resolve that conflict right away. And I hope it's not gonna be the whole center point of the show. I'm just hoping that there's some action there and brings it to life. But we shall see. So in my next video, I have a very interesting theory on Colton Hayes' character. So stay tuned for that. Have a good one, guys.